Greetings from Tamriel, my friends. Dova-Kiing here with the next episode in the Dawn of the Garmir audio drama series, titled Shattered Shields. Previously on Dawn of the Garmir. The echoes of battle linger in the minds of the Dawnguard. Isran and Gunmar had fallen in a desperate fight to stop Lord Harkon from resurrecting Ysygorn, the last son of Ysgramor. Ysygorn's power had proved to be unstoppable, leaving the Dawnguard shattered. Durak, the lone survivor, had managed to escape and brought grim news back to Fort Dawnguard, while Harkon and Ysygorn began their plans to unleash vampiric lycanthropic hybrids upon Tamriel itself. Now the Dawnguard must rally under new leadership and prepare for the fight of their lives. And now, let's return to our story. The evening rays of the setting sun cast their lights on the canyon where Fort Dawnguard resided. As Durak stumbled toward the aged fortress, he could not believe that it was only a mere fortnight ago that he, Gunmar, and Isran had made their fatal quest to Duskbane Barrow and the cost of their journey. As he approached the outer battlements, a voice cried from the outer wall. "Durak has returned. He looks like he's hurt. Send word to Sorine at once." Durak sighed with relief. He was home, at last. As he sat down by his favorite campfire, Dawnguard troops rushed toward him, led by Sorine. "Durak, what happened? Where's Isran and Gunmar?" Slowly, he turns to look at her. As their eyes met, he took a deep breath. "They're gone. Dead. At the hands of Ysygorn. He's real, and he's worse than we ever imagined." Gasps filled the room as the Dawnguard members gather around. The weight of his words hangs heavy. They mutter to themselves, "Isran's dead? By the divines. Isran? Gunmar? Dead?" Sorine's face wore nothing but shock. "We didn't stand a chance. Ysygorn was too powerful, and Harkon's alive, and he's working with him. They're creating something worse than vampires." Clearing falls silent. Sorine straightens up, her expression hardening. "We don't have time to mourn. If Ysygorn is this powerful, we need to prepare. Durak, you go and rest. The rest of you, to the war room." A fire crackles softly in the war room hearth. Footsteps shuffle as the tension thickens, with the Dawnguard members standing around the strategy table, waiting as Sorine steps forward. Sorine's voice was steady, but charged, determined to get things in motion to stop Harkon and Ysygorn before they can strike again. She clears her throat and turns to face her comrades. "Today is a dark day. Isran is gone. Gunmar, too. We all saw this day coming, but not like this. Not so soon." A beat of silence falls heavily among the Dawnguard. The fire pops as the weight of loss settles over the room like snowfall on the surrounding mountains. "Today, we lost two of our most valued friends and comrades, but we have a choice. We can choose to let this break us as our enemies wish to see, or we can rise like the dawn on a new day. We can forge the Dawnguard anew, here and now. We must stand, because if we don't, no one will." Durak stood from his seat, his voice hoarse but firm. "Sorine, you kept us ready. You pushed us even when Isran could not. You have earned this, Sorine. I say, we follow you." Hear, hear, the Dawnguard members acknowledged without hesitation. Sorine smiled, a spark in her eye as plan after plan began to flow through her mind. Then it begins now. First order, crossbows. I want every one of them refitted with silver-tipped bullets. Vampires, werewolves, whatever twisted thing Ysygorn and Harkon are making, it all bleeds, and silver works. Next, we need all of our vampiric fighting weapons tempered with silver. We'll see how the vampires feel when they're struck with these blades. I agree, Kellen said. For Isran and Gunmar. Chairs scrape and boots move as the Dawnguard mobilizes. No excuses, no delays. Tamriel needs us more than ever. Over the next several hours, Fort Dawnguard was filled with the distant clatter of smiths reforging tools, the hammers clanging on anvils, and the sound of fiery embers from the Dawnguard's forges. All the Dawnguard weapons have been honed with a silver edge, and for good measure, enchanted with the ancient Dawnguard's rune magic. As Sorine Gerard strode through the castle's corridors, she was amazed at how the Dawnguard members were working as hard as they could. She knew Isran and Gunmar would be proud of their hard work to stop Ysygorn and Harkon, and that their deaths will never be in vain. As she walked past the war room, she saw that Serana stared out the window at the surrounding snowy landscape. She quietly approached, but Serana noticed her right away. Her golden eyes were somber and waited for Sorine to reply. You've barely spoken a word since Durak returned. Do you know anything about Ysygorn? Only whispers. My mother spoke of him in the old tongue, like a curse you never dared speak aloud. Ysygorn, he wasn't just a warlord. He was hunger, unrelenting. He believed only those of Nord and Atmorn blood were worthy of joining the companions. When Ysgramor began welcoming members of other races, he became furious and waged a constant war against Tamriel long before I was sealed away. He believed the world was his to reshape in blood and to slay anyone unworthy to be a companion. Then, at long last, Ysgramor's eldest sons, Yngol and Yglar, managed to seal away Ysygorn, though I never knew where. A moment of stillness falls as the fire crackles louder. If he's really back, then we're facing more than vampires. We'll need allies, all of them. Serana, what about the Dragonborn? Serana thought for a moment, and then said, Andrew is off on another more important mission with Lydia and Fandal, to stop Alduin from destroying the world. But before he left, I promised him that in his absence, I would do everything possible to protect the members of the Dawnguard in his absence. I'm also doing this for Isran. He offered me sanctuary here when no one would ever have given a vampire the opportunity to do so. As she spoke, Sorine swore she saw a small tear fall down Serana's cheek. Anyways, my mother still lives in Castle Volkihar. She may help, but only if she sees the threat for what it is, and she doesn't trust anyone. Sorine nodded in agreement. Then make her see. You will take a team. Go now, before Ysygorn moves again. Serana turns from the window. Her eyes glint with determination, a pale flicker of defiance. And then, in a blur of motion, rushes from the room to rendezvous with her assigned group. A deep arcane hum pulses in the air. Echoes of distant chanting drips from the stone like droplets of blood. The interior of Duskbane Barrow is cloaked in shadows and dark magic as Harkon stands before a black altar, his arms crossed. Ysygorn, calm and imposing, gazes into the swirling energy above it. The Dawnguard stumbles about in the dark. Isran's death shattered their spine. All that's left are scraps clinging to the last threads of hope. Harkon says with a twisted grin, "Hope is a brittle thing. Let them cling. Let them gather their warriors and polish their blades. It won't matter." Ysgorn replies, his voice like cold stone. "What of the companions? Their blood still runs with Ysgramor's strength. They may stand against us, Ysgorn." At his reply, Ysgorn smirks faintly. "They will try, but their beast blood is flawed. My formula binds lichen and vampire into something new, something superior. Once we infect them, they will serve us or die." And what of the Dragonborn? A legend always stirs when war is beginning to brew. Ysgorn didn't even hesitate when he replied, "Then let him come. I was born of war. I will meet them in it, blade to blade." The altar pulses, and the growl rises again, joined by a ghostly howl. Magic surges, and then fades into a dark silence. Meanwhile, on the distant, frozen coastlines of northern Skyrim, the bitter wind howls as footsteps crunch through the deep snow, and the muffled clink of armor sounds through the chill, frozen air. Serana leads a small team of Dawnguard across the icy path toward Castle Volkihar. It's colder than I remember, as if the castle itself knows I'm coming. Serana says softly, almost to herself. One of the Dawnguard members grumbled, "Colder? This place feels like it wants to eat my soul." The wind gusts harder, ice cracks underfoot as the ice water jetty comes closer to Castle Volkihar, its jagged towers of black stone looming like a corpse above the white sky. Serana turns to the Dawnguard members beside her. "Focus, we're not here to admire the architecture." "Right. Just knock on the Vampire Queen's door and ask her to help save the world. Easy enough." One of the Dawnguard members chuckled nervously. Serana turned to him, her eyes solemn, but with quiet resolve. "She's not just a queen. She's my mother. And if anyone can see the storm coming, it's her. The hard part will be making her care." They stop as the wind dies down and the castle gates loom before them. "Let's hope she's willing to listen," Serana says under her breath, and, without hesitation, they venture inside the gates. The Dawnguard regroups under its new leadership, their resolve tempered by loss, but fueled with purpose. Serana embarks on a perilous journey to awaken old bonds in the shadows of Castle Volkihar, while deep within Duskbane Barrow, ancient powers stir and scheme. The storm gathers. The blood of Ysgramor flows once more. Tamriel stands on the brink, and who will stand in their way? Thank you all for joining us for this episode of Dawn of the Garmir. Please stay tuned for the next chapter, and if you haven't already, please slash that like button and subscribe as a follower of the Dova-Kiing. And until then, Foos Roda!